group now whether that link is the same so that I'll see whether to reshare links. Or do you have another phone?
We should check for the link, Abby.
Yeah, to see if we are active on this current link. Would you don't show with your stuff? Oh.
Okay. I think we might have to share another one. Let's see. Where will we even share? Copy link. So that means that one has gone. Oh god. But if I minimize, I don't know. Let me try.
We'll just pause. It's not. I'll probably
It
come
was
back.
hanging.
Let's try. Okay. What about if you go to our main page and then just go to live and see if this one is there? Because I feel like someone has joined.
But she's not showing. See.
Yeah.
That's the previous one.
7 minutes ago.
Ago. That's the previous one.
One minute.
Right.
So maybe go to the page and check.
This one even has. This is the live one now. So this is the one that I will share. So do send me this one on WhatsApp. Where's my
Send
line?
it to yourself.
Okay. So let me try and
This YouTube can pause. Hey God. That link that I put on my
check the
WhatsApp.
new one.
Check the new one. Did he take you directly here?
Yeah.
He took you directly here.
Yeah.
Now I'm hanging.
Yeah, but you're hanging.
Now I'm hanging. So
But can you see me?
I can see you. I can see how you're saying. Can you
It's
see me?
working now.
Am I talking there? Is it showing?
Oh, stand still.
I'm stand still. I don't know why. Hey God.
We probably should log out, log in again.
Log out, log in again. That means another link again.
Oh, we can't use that same link.
No.
You should just do your conversation and save it.
No, poor.
Hi God. Let him release me.
Log out and log in.
God.
And I don't think it's network issue now because I can hear you
Because
clearly.
I can hear you clearly. I can see you clearly. I know. Oh. 4 people are even here. 4 people are here. Oh, wait.
Yeah, they will understand.
No more. So what do we do? Because it says if I end stream, your stream, and you and your guests will no longer be live.
Okay, but if you end it, we can't use the same link, right?
No. And you know we have shared link. What do you reckon? I didn't know that this YouTube live was this tricky like this.
Yeah, it's crazy. Maybe we should just announce to our people now. We're going to try a new link, so they should just go to the one that says live.
Okay. But okay. How come you left and you came back and he didn't do anything to
I
you?
don't know why. I don't know what I did differently.
Okay, we have no choice because it's not even like answer and it's not network.
Yeah. Okay, let's just try.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh, okay.
Yes, yes,
Perfect.
yes.
Okay, so we
Yay.
don't have to go. Finally.
Ah,
I think I should
finally.
pardon my background. I'm not in my house.
Fine. Pardon my own background. So this is not. This is where the network fits best. So I had to come here because it wasn't working in the living room. Anyway, I think we are. Yeah, we are good now. Network is good and everybody's fine. So should we see if maybe a couple of people will join us? Should we just start?
um, I'm good with us starting.
Okay. I mean,
Or if
after all, they
people
can
can let
always
us
like,
know what they think.
yeah, we always like the video will always be there, so they can always like check. Okay, so
Hmm. Yeah.
we can start, I guess, so that we don't take much of everybody's time.
Mhm.
Okay, guys. Hi, my name is Adedoye Adekoya. If you're already one of my subscribers, I'm sure you know that already, but I'm assuming there are some people who do not know who I am. So my name is Adedoye, and I currently reside in the UK. I'm a Nigerian living in the UK. I came to the UK on a study route as well, so that gives me like first-hand experience to talk to you guys, and as how to navigate life as a Nigerian living in the UK. So on this channel, I share my experiences, people's experiences living in the UK, a little bit of lifestyle here and there, travel as well as relocation tips. But enough about me and about UK because that is not why we're here tonight. Today, a lot of people have been asking me about, relocation to Canada, this and that, but you can't give what you don't have now. So because I don't really know very much about Canada process, I reached out to the very delectable,
Hmm.
amazing Missy guys, and she honored my invitation. I mean, I feel so overwhelmed. She honored my invitation and decided to come live with us to answer some of the questions that I have, that most of you have asked me, and that most of you would ask in this live chat below. So that being said, I introduce to you Missy. Drum roll.
It's a drum rolls for me. Okay, hi everyone. Hi everyone. My name is MC Olutade, and I have a YouTube channel, like she said, ms_MC on YouTube. I basically share my life as an international student living in Canada, and I do not really restrict it to my province. I try to extend the whole conversation to all the provinces in Canada. So whatever benefits you guys in other provinces, I like to share it. And I also, like she said, share from my experiences and also from people's experiences, just to have like a diverse, you know, insight into what you can benefit, pros, cons, like different things about Canada. And I'm so excited to be here. I feel like this is the first time I'm doing a live video with someone over the, like two of
Yeah.
us being live together. So yeah, I feel so excited to be here. Thank you for having me. And I look
Thank
forward
you.
to all the
Thank
many
you.
questions.
Yes, I have them all
Yeah.
here.
Oh my
A lot
god.
of questions that because I did a poll on like
Oh,
Instagram, on my WhatsApp, asking people to like ask me some questions that they want me to ask you. Some of them
yeah.
might be shy and don't want to ask it on live. So I
Yeah.
decided that okay, make me your errand girl. So I have most of these questions here today, and
Yeah.
hopefully we'll be able to tackle everything. The first one would have been for you to introduce yourself, but you have already done that, like you
Yeah.
said. So hopefully we are looking to pick on your brain on living in the UK as a whole. So tell us, how do you come about, studying in Canada? I said UK. Hey, how did you
It's
come about
okay.
studying in Canada?
Yeah. So I think the journey for me started. I think I should even start from when I knew about Canada generally, because you
Mm,
know how you never really had that plan of going to a particular country. I just knew that I wanted to travel out, probably after school or okay. So my dad wanted me to travel before, like for my university, for my first degree, but that didn't work out, and that was supposed to be in the US. But years later, I was serving in 2015, and then someone told me about Canada. But what the person was telling me was about coming in as a PR then. So I wasn't really patronized per se. So I wanted to just go through done with being done with NYSC and then moving into the workforce and everything. And then it just dawned on me that maybe you should even explore this travel route. So in 2018, I did my international passport for the first time because I never traveled before then, like outside Nigeria. And that's how the whole journey started for me. Then I applied, got refused. Maybe I'm already giving too much insight to it, but yeah, got refused, applied again, and here we are. So I came in April 2021, and this April will make it 2 years.
Okay, so what course are you studying, or did you
Oh,
study? Have you finished?
um, I'm going to leave that one till later.
Okay,
But
so what
let
course
me
are you
let me
studying?
just say, yeah, I'm currently studying my master's in public administration at the University of Saskatchewan. Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I'm doing. Like I'm
I've,
quarter to finish though, but I'm almost there.
I've not
Yeah.
been to Canada, but via your YouTube posts and channels, I have been to Canada. I've seen Regina, I've seen
I try.
Saskatchewan,
Try.
I've seen a lot of provinces thanks to you. Okay,
Yeah.
so that brings us to the next question. Okay, so I have a visa refusal. I mean, do you think my chances? So I have a visa refusal. Do you think I stand a chance to getting a visa to study in Canada? Would this limit my chances, or should I just forget about it? Do you
Absolutely
think
not.
the visa refusal affects my chances of getting into a school in Canada as well as getting the visa to study in Canada?
Absolutely not. I got refused the first time as well before
Okay.
getting approved. And at the time, when I was searching for how to get approved after being rejected, I didn't see a lot of people make videos about it. And again, I had like a peculiar issue because the first program that I was coming from that made me rejected was different from the program I'm studying now. So I needed people to talk about it. So
Mm,
I will be I think being refused is actually a blessing in disguise, to be
in
honest, because
disguise.
at the end of the day, when you get your GCMS note from Canada, visa, whatever, they're able to tell you what you missed out, and if you can follow that, like that procedure, maybe not procedure, but like if you can follow all the stuff that they said they needed to see in the previous application, then you'll be good to go. You
Yeah.
don't necessarily have to now start all over again. But a lot of times, people just do trial and error for their first application, which is okay. But I mean, if you can avoid refusal, great. But if you can't, it does not limit your chance at all. Like most people get refused the first time and then get approved the second time. So it's not a big deal. It doesn't limit your chance in any way. Yeah, it does not.
Okay. I mean, a lot of people, even me myself, before I came to the UK, Canada was on my list. But I
Oh,
had a lot of things that, because I didn't probably just graduate from uni, that, yeah, okay, it's better now. Thank you. I didn't just quickly graduate from uni. So, like,
mm,
my chances of studying after maybe 5 years or like 6 years of leaving school is hard. So,
mm,
like, late school leavers, so to say, people that left school years back coming back to
mhm.
do a master's, what are their chances? That's one. It's more like a two in one question. Then the
Okay.
second one is, you know, people that have family. There are some people that are not that have dependents. So there's another hearsay that, oh, you're coming in with your family, you will not get the visa. I mean, there are a lot of hearsay about Canada, trust me. So like
Yeah.
when you get the
A
visa, you're
lot of
coming with your family.
documentation,
It's better
actually.
if you're single. How
Mm.
true is this?
Okay, so which one should we start from? The first
That's
one, which
already there.
says, okay, so what does the first one say again? Um, Having like a gap between the
Yes, like a
last
gap year, lots
gap
of
year.
gap year. Does it
Okay.
matter? Mm.
Mm. I don't think it matters because I finished school in 2014, served 2015, and I worked from then till 2021 when I eventually traveled. So that was a gap year. The only thing though is that you have to explain in your statement of purpose why you had that gap year, what you were doing. They want to know what you were doing, why. And again, for someone like me that changed program because I was studying business administration in my undergraduate and now public administration, you also want to explain why you are looking at this new field, like what inspired it basically.
Yeah.
And to be fair, like if you have an international experience, to me you have an edge over like people within, right? So it's
Yeah.
just basically you selling your story and just letting them know that the reason why the reason for the gap year is because you were working in your home country, and why are you changing your program? I don't know. It might be different reasons. For me,
Yeah.
it's probably because of Nigerian government system. I wanted to implement changes, like different things like that. But having a gap year is not really a problem. It's for you to now explain. So for Canada application, is like you guys know that there is no interview, right? So everything you need to say to convince the visa officer has to be written in that book. But even though you are trying to explain to them, it should also be clear, concise, straightforward, because these people are attending to well, maybe not millions, but hundreds
Mm.
of thousands of applications, and
At
they
the
don't
same
have
time.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't have that ample time to go through like 3, 4, 5 pages. I'll advise that it should be maximum 2 pages, and that 2 pages should be like straightforward. Like, why are you doing this? Like, that's just it basically. Canada, I think a lot of reasons why people get refused is because people do not put in the right documentation. That's just
Mm.
it. But yeah, it's not much of a problem. But
Okay.
explaining gap year is normal. Like back in, so
Yeah.
another thing is our system is different from their system here. From 14 years old, you might be working and you might not even go back to school, right? So but in our own country, when you're done, you have to finish your university and then get a job before you probably think of masters again
Master
and all
and
that. So yeah,
because the
it's
price.
yeah, because of the price. Yeah. So it's just
Yeah.
explanation basically. Yeah.
Okay. So I think that explains that. So what about, coming with your dependents as well? Does it limit your chances of getting approval, visa approval, as well as your admission to start with?
This one I'm going to tread carefully because
Or
I won't
we
say
can skip it.
no,
But
it's
if
okay.
you have any insights, mm,
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, I talk to people about it. So um coming in with your family for me, it's possible, obviously. Like nothing is impossible,
mm,
but you have to show enough finances in your
yeah,
account.
proof of
And
funds.
another thing, like some of the things that the Canada visa officers want to see is like proof of support, financial support, proof of home ties. So if you're coming in with your family, like what do you prove as your home tie? Because one of the things that you want to show in your Canada study visa, Canada visa application is to convince them of your career progression after that study in your home country. Do you understand? So um that's just the only thing. So if you have other things, like say you have a company, buildings and everything, of course you can just prove all those things as your home tie. But if you don't have so much of those things, your family can be your home tie like that 100%. So that's
Mm,
why that's why you see people saying come in first and then bring your
bring your
family in
family
later.
later.
But if you have the finances, by all means bring your family at once. But
Yeah.
of course you have to show other things
Home
that is
ties,
tying you
other
back to your
things.
country. Yeah,
Mm,
that's
true,
just
true.
it.
Okay,
I think
so
someone has a question. I don't know if it's related to this, or maybe we'll go to questions later.
yeah, yeah. When we finish, guys, you can drop your questions so that would go through the questions after we're done with all this that I already have as well. Okay,
Mm.
so briefly, can you tell us like the documents that are needed to? I mean, with the UK, we know we have your SOP, statement of purpose. You need your things like that. So what are the documents that are needed for Canada? And can you tell us like briefly? Because disclaimer, we are not we
Immigration
don't work with
consultant.
visa. What is it
Yeah.
called? We just share, all these ideas and tips based on our experiences and research as well. So
Yeah.
can you tell us some documents that are required for this process, as well as the process itself? Like, okay, apply for this, submit your SOP, financial. I don't know how Canada works, this and that, and then like a brief timeline. What's the timeline for like the duration for it? Is it when you start? When can you say you can finish? With
Mm.
all your documents complete. So is
Yeah.
it 3 months? Is it 6 months? Is it a thing that you need to be patient and just relax and hope on God? Yeah.
Yeah, I hear that a lot and I see that a lot on Twitter. So I
Yeah.
think I want to
Yeah.
touch
So
on the yeah, I think I want to touch on the timeline first.
yeah.
Um for the timeline, I would say that there's no standard timeline for Canada
Not that
visa.
stone.
Prior to COVID though, you would hear people say within 3 months, 3 to 4 months, or 3 to 6 months, you're good to go. But with COVID, a lot of things have changed. So someone was just sharing to me, a friend of mine was just sharing with me yesterday about one of his colleagues back in Nigeria that applied January 20 and got approved yesterday, February 20. That's 1 month, right?
Whoa.
And that's insane. That's incredible. That's different. That's unique. But I'll say when you apply when you apply for Canada visa application, personally, I would advise you to do some things upfront. So, for example, when you apply and you get a date for your biometric, just do upfront medical so that when they eventually request for medical, no, they won't request, because when you already do your upfront medicals, they don't bother to ask you to, submit medical request again, because they already have it. All those things just saves all those unnecessary time,
Mm.
that you have spent on trying to book appointment. Currently in Nigeria right now, if you want to book appointments, we only have two approved medical hospitals. I think the first one is IOM, and
IOM
the,
Ikeja.
the second one is,
Abuja.
I've forgotten the second one now. Yeah. Anyway, so those two are the only approved ones, and we have those two in Lagos and in Abuja. Um, so it eliminates that unnecessary waiting time. So I'll just say
Mm.
do on medicals. But will I say there is a standard? There's really no standard. Okay, Q Life.
Oh,
Thank you.
somebody
Yeah.
said feel like, thank
Yeah,
you.
so Q Life is the second one. Yeah, so it eliminates that waiting time. And I'll just say that we don't really have a specific timeline, but maybe within 3 to 4 months, basically.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So having said that, the visa documents that you would normally require, the first one, I have this one written down, so in case I'm looking down, the first one is usually your international passport. I mean, that one goes without saying.
Mm-hmm.
Your proof of funds. So to show proof of funds, you require maybe things like bank statements, investment accounts. So it can be your fixed deposit account, mutual fund statement. So that fixed deposit and mutual fund, just print out the statement. Usually the bank will just recognize, like, let the visa officer know that this client has so account with us and it's been running from so period, and also state the amount that they have there. Yeah. So that statement usually I think they usually write a letter, so they address it already to the visa officer. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
more
you
like
need
a
that.
reference letter.
Yeah, more like a reference letter.
Yeah.
Some people also attach their pension statement, affidavit of support, then GIC. So for Canada, GIC is guaranteed investment certificate, so that when you're back in Nigeria, you can have that money saved into one of the banks here. So $10,000 is usually the amount. It just goes to show that, oh, you have that amount to save in their home
Mm.
country, which you will use for your living expenses.
Expenses.
Yeah, I found out that a lot of times when people use that GIC route, they get approved. So I don't know if it's a direct approval thing, but you might want to try the magic. So the third one would be proof of home ties, where we mentioned like having your family members back in Nigeria and having a study leave. Oh my God, that study leave is very important. Like, it's a very um
Ties back home,
strong
right?
reason. Yeah, like it shows a very strong reason for your home tie, because when you're working with a company and the company is saying that, if the company is addressing it to the visa officer that this person is a current employee and the person is going for this period and coming back this period, it shows.
They know that this person will come back.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
shows a very strong point. Also, marriage certificate for people that are married, C of O for landed properties, and getting a CAC document for your business if you have it back in Nigeria. So all of those things fall under the proof for home ties. Travel history. This one is not compulsory. I've seen a lot of people that never traveled outside
Mm.
before and they got their visa officer, but you might just want to travel to save yourself that stress. Or because sometimes this visa officer, they'll look at everything and be like, what's that thing that I should what's that thing that I should use to reject this person? I'm just joking. But okay, so I think I should quickly say that here. One of the major things that the visa officer wants to see is your proof of financial support. If you're able to have a very strong point, like in that regard, most of
Mm.
the time other things are just like, they're just
Definitely.
addition. Yeah, they're
Mm.
secondary. Yeah. So another thing is for your statement of purpose, be very clear, like I said, concise, straight to the point. Let them know why you're coming to Canada, why you're not studying it in your home country. Because people study public administration master's program in Nigeria. So why am I not studying it there? Why am I studying it here? Just make sure to always, put in those important details. Also, you need police certificate, medical exam, like we said, and well, biometric enrollment is almost is non-negotiable once you apply for your visa. Also offer letter from your school. Yeah, those are the visa documents that they want to see basically when you're applying. But like I said, make sure to tackle that proof of financial support because that's a major thing.
Major.
Yeah, major, very major. Break down your tuition fees in your statement of purpose and tell them this amount that you have is going to cover this. And do not forget that you have to also show 10,000 living expenses in addition with your tuition fees. And if you want to go to the length of having a like paying for your tuition fees and attaching the receipts, great. So yeah, those are the documents
Okay.
that you need.
So that 10,000 is irrespective of whatever province you're in. So it's not
Exactly.
as if Saskatchewan has their own, yeah?
No,
No,
yeah.
okay. Because for UK, there's living expenses for London and then there's living expenses for outside London.
Oh
So,
no.
yeah.
Yeah, which is not fair, right? Like having the same amount, 10,000, is not fair for us because if I'm living in Vancouver and Toronto, it's more expensive compared to if I live in.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
but that's the
It is what
standard
it
amount.
is.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
thank you for. I can see a lot of questions. I think we have like 4 questions now.
Oh,
Would still, get to them. So our next question is, as an international student, whether from Nigeria or from wherever, what job opportunities are available while studying and like potential for are there potential for when you graduate, as per job and all, yeah. Because we all know that, okay, fine, we are going to go back, but there's the place of trying to get a better job and
mhm.
things like
Yeah,
that. So,
yeah.
what are the chances of securing those kind of jobs and all?
So many chances.
Mm,
So many chances, especially because you already studied in that. Yeah, you already have a like you already have their certificates, like like a school certificate here. You have numerous opportunities here. To be honest, there is no limit to the kind of opportunities you can have. And also, as a student, if you know that maybe you haven't stayed in a particular province, you do not really want to be there, you can also move to other provinces to work. What you only have to do is to ensure that you apply for the Federal Skilled Workers Program, FSWP, as against the provincial nomination, which allows you to stay in that province for 3 years before you can move. So that's just it. And for job opportunities as a student, we have so many. A lot of people do care work. A lot of people they work in fast food chain stores. A lot of people, like, there are so many places, to be honest. And also as a student, there are summer job opportunities. So every summer, like right now, there are so many summer job vacancies that you can apply for. And
mm,
like, I've seen a lot of international students get this. Like, I was a beneficiary of summer student opportunity, and I was working with the government of Saskatchewan last year. My friends also, a friend of mine was working with the federal government. So like, there is no how will I put it now? There is no segregation of, oh, you're an international student, so you cannot get this kind of
mm,
opportunity. No. So there are so many opportunities when you're a student. Also, you can get opportunities within the school, all those student positions, probably working with a particular supervisor and all of that.
yeah.
So yeah, there are so many opportunities. And also, when you're done, there are also opportunities. I mean, you have their certificate, so what's stopping you? And you have an edge as an international student because you're also
So,
bringing in international experience.
foreign experience, yeah.
Yeah, there's no limit. No limit to
Mm,
the kind of job you can get. No limit to the province that you can live in. And another thing is you have a clear pathway when you're in. Like, a lot of
mm,
us already know what kind of route we want to use to become a permanent resident. And okay, I think I'm missing something else. Another thing is there are also like so many perks of being within the country. For example, in 2021, when Canada was not doing a lot of permanent residence opportunities for people outside. They converted a lot of people within. They just introduced a
inside.
temporary residency to permanent resident pathway. Those are things you get when you're inside. Um, Another thing is last year, the Minister of Immigration just decided to change their immigration policy. So from last year November to this year December, people can work for 40
More
hours.
than 20 hours.
Like,
Bust my
exactly. So
brain.
a lot of people
Ah,
are working. I'm telling you, like,
no.
people are working. Although your
We
tax
saw
is
it. I mean, those of us
yeah,
in the UK too, we want that because the whole 20 hours.
yeah,
Tell
it's
me
already
about it.
increasing.
They
Yeah,
should take
people
the
are
same step that Canada took and allow
mm.
people, but it is
And we
what
are
it is.
hoping that it stays that way. And,
It stays.
and yeah, because I mean, people are working, and a lot of
Yeah.
times, like, international students do not really mind. the hours you give them, right?
Mhm.
So limiting us to those kind of hours, and we don't have our families around where you say
We
you are
don't
not
have.
working, so let me be with a family member. You don't have, so why not work, right?
I
So
know.
yeah, there are so many perks of
Okay.
being an international student.
Hmm. Thank you. What wisdom?
Yeah. Wisdom. Yeah.
Wisdom.
Yeah.
So relocation to Canada. Tell me, is it worth it? Do you have any regrets? Like, oh my god, I should have just stayed back home. Is it worth it for you?
I should not have stayed this long before coming. That's what I'm going to tell you. Yeah,
Oh
with all these many things that I've said, I mean, it's very clear that when you come to Canada, there is no, I don't know how to say, like, you don't feel like someone is telling you can't get a job because, I mean,
man.
so many opportunities here, and you feel at home depending on the province that you find yourself. And also
Mm.
because right now we have a lot of immigrants coming in, a lot of Nigerians, you can also feel at home, like stay with them in case you feel like you're missing your family. Just reach out to people, be intentional with friendships. Um,
Mm.
there's no regret at all, like at all. And if anything, I'm just grateful that I came. I'm grateful that I have the opportunity to meet people because it also helps you to meet people from different cultures,
Walk
different
of life.
nationalities. Canada is a multicultural country. Like you'll be surprised the
Mm.
kind of people that you meet, even in like maybe workplace, in classes, in the environment. No, there are so many perks of coming down to Canada. Of course, you have to do the work. There are pros and cons for sure. The weather, one
Yeah,
of those
that
things.
weather, that brings me to the weather.
Yeah.
Is it as cold as it is, or the media is just all about, exaggerating things? Is
It's
it
not
as cold as they say
exaggerating,
it
no.
is?
It depends on where you are. It's not exaggerating. So if you come to a province like Saskatchewan, like the prairie provinces like Saskatchewan, Alberta, Manitoba, or even the Northwest territories, which I don't think people really go to. But if you come to these provinces, it is very cold. Like this week, we have double digits, -30, -30 something, and the
I
minus when they
mean,
tell you, yeah, when they tell you that currently the weather is -20, we are only telling you what the weather forecast says, but you still have that. If you go down, it shows you what it's feeling like. So it can be -30, but feeling like -40
minus
something.
40 something.
Yeah. So the weather is very bad. Like those are some of the cons. But is that enough to stop you from coming? I would say no. No.
No,
No. Yeah.
no. I mean,
Yeah.
here is minus whatever. And I'm in total neck. I can't even imagine what you guys are going through.
Oh
You
no,
guys are
it's very
doing
cool. But you
everything.
are acclimatized. That's how I feel like at the end of the like
You
within
get used to
6 months
it.
you
You
get
get
used to
used to it.
a lot.
That's
Because yesterday
true.
my friend and I were stepping out and I was just laughing at her because she was wearing a three-quarter. I'm like, the Canadian. Yeah,
You're
so
getting used to
it's
it.
just a matter of time, yeah.
Okay, so that brings us to the next question.
Mhm.
What are the different Canada PR pathways for students? I think you
Hmm.
mentioned some of it, but you didn't
Yeah.
really, really. It should be a question on its own. Yeah.
So we have different types. Um, if you're a student, we have the CIC route. So CEC, Canadian Experience Class. So what that means is when you're done with your study, you already have your letter of completion. You would work for a year in a, I don't know if it has to be in a, of course maybe a permanent role, but I don't know if it has to be in that job route. I don't think so. It's just for you to work in a place for 1 year, and after then you can apply for CAC. We have the Federal Skilled Workers Program. That's the popular one that people come in with. And even like despite the fact that you are within the country, you still need to write IELTS or CELPIP if it has expired. But if it has not expired, of course you can use it. So that's Federal Skilled Workers Program. Then we have the provincial nomination pathway, the one I was talking about, where if you are within a province and maybe age is no longer on your side to apply for the Federal Skilled Workers Program, you can
Mm,
apply for the provincial nomination program whilst being in the express entry pool. So when you get nominated, you get automatic 600 points
600.
that adds to the current points you have, which like
Mm,
of course, like the next draw, you'll probably be part of those
definitely,
people that
definitely get
get
it.
selected.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think about other ones as well. I think those three are like the major ones, and then maybe some other new ones that your provincial government can just come up with, like the TR to PR pathway that I was talking about. Yeah. Also, there is one that I realized. So if you are a caregiver, there are also some pathways that you get. There's one I'm
Mm,
trying to remember right now. I can't remember it. It's also like a temporary resident to permanent resident pathway, but it's usually on different provincial websites. If I remember, I'll tell you. And then
Okay.
yeah, international graduate stream. Yeah, international graduate stream. You can also
Okay.
use that to convert. Almost like CEC, but not really CEC, because CEC is you have to stay for a year before you apply. But with the international graduate stream, once you're done, you can just put in for it like the provincial nomination pathway, and you also get it. So quite a number
Okay.
of them. Yeah. And they change from
Thank you.
time to time depending on
So you
maybe
have to keep
labor
abreast.
shortage or something. Yeah. Because you know there's sometimes there are restrictions to the kind of jobs you
Mm.
can get if you're a temporary resident. So when it's like a thing in the country whereby a lot of people cannot apply because of having a temporary resident visa, then they come up with policies like that one where I mentioned in 2021, converting people within from temporary resident to PR. So things like that comes out from time to time. Yeah.
Okay. I think I don't know if I whether it was on Instagram or something. I learned that there are some schools that not all schools are eligible for, some of these
Postgraduate work.
pathways. Not all schools are like recognized or something. Not sure how
Maybe
that
not
works.
I won't say
Mm.
recognized. So, for example, if you're coming to a program that is just 8 months, then you can't apply for PR and you can't even work. I don't think you can work. Also, so there are schools that are DLIs, that's designated learning institutions, and there are schools that are not DLIs. But guess what? I realized like last year that even schools that are DLI, some of them do not have access to postgraduate work permit. So you have to be careful when you're applying. Ensure that personally, I will ensure that I attend a school that is a designated learning institution,
Yeah,
and I
that works.
also read to be sure that they have
Right.
access to postgraduate work permit. Because if not, okay, what if I want to go back to my home country and then after staying 1 or 2 years, like after being done with my program, I realized that oh, there are so many opportunities here that I might want to explore before going back, or that what if I change my mind to settle back? Then having those hindrance at that kind of time would be to be really
Yeah.
depressing. So yeah, I always advise that you go to schools that are DLIs and that has access to postgraduate work permit scheme
Okay. Okay. DLI, Designated Learning Institute.
institution. Yeah.
Okay. Your whole study route application process, did you do it yourself? Was it DIY? Did you reach out to somebody? Do you think a random person can do it by themselves or what?
Yeah, people can do it themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. There's so many information online on YouTube. Like for those people that do not like to read things for long, like me, there are so many visual
YouTube.
presentation these things, which is YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
So you can actually do it yourself. It's just basically knowing all the documentations. Like I said, Canada is very big on documentation. It's like you are not doing interviews, so there's nothing like a two-way communication. Is everything that you've written down that your visa officer judges you from, right? So just write everything that you know that they would probably be thinking about, and also attach the necessary documents. For me, I would say is both DIY slash using an agent. So when I got refused the first time, I did it myself. The second time I just felt like, oh, I'll probably need a second eye on this.
Opinion, yeah.
That's why, yeah, but to be honest, largely I did it myself because I was using the NSC route. I was on Naira Land then. Naira Land is a very, very good resource. I keep telling
Yeah.
people.
Sure.
Yeah, so on Naira Land then, I would see people say, "Oh, there is NSE." That was not how I started my own application then. So immediately I heard about it, I went to print out my bank statement. I went to do my IELTS test by myself. Like I didn't even let the agent know anything, and I just reached their office and said, "This is my certificate, or I want you people to upload it." And all. So I most of it was done by me because, like I said, I was on Naira Land, so I could see things
People's
happening real time, like
experience.
people's
Yeah.
conversation. Exactly.
Mm.
And somebody can say, "Oh, I just got denied for this." I'll remember, did I attach this? If I did not, I'll raise web form, attach it. Yeah, so you can always raise a web form if you feel like you missed any documents out for the Canada visa application. So that was it. So on like 150%, you can do it yourself. Yeah.
Okay, so I think I've really exhausted all my, study questions.
That's
But on a
true.
lighter note,
Yeah.
what are like some of the culture shocks that you say you've experienced as an international
Hmm.
student living in Canada so far?
I've experienced a lot of culture
I
shocks,
don't
and I
know,
feel like I
please,
still experience a lot till date.
daily. Mm.
Um, yeah, because anyway, some of them are very personal to maybe when I see people and friends like that. But one of the major ones is the fact that people, I don't know how to put it. I think it's probably them protecting themselves. I don't really know, and I'm trying to be careful here. But I would say that a lot of times people, if you come to Canada, you won't really see people on the road. So I watch UK videos. I see a lot of people on the road. Like you have, like maybe the YouTuber is vlogging and there are people on the. Number one, it's very cold. Yeah, you can't even see people walking about. And
Mm.
maybe it's also a factor of where I live because when I went to Toronto, when I went to Vancouver, it was a bit different. You know, people still move around there. The weather is great. There are so many buses and trains for people to use. But here in Saskatchewan, you need to have a car. Like it's not luxury, it's necessity. So a lot of people are driving. You won't really see people on the road. The weather is cold. So and then people keep to themselves. I don't know my next neighbor. I don't know anybody. When you are coming outside, in short, when you greet some people, like, good morning, like,
Mm. That's my.
but you know, in Nigeria, it's like, I have a new neighbor. Hi, where have you been?
You
Oh,
go and
did you
introduce
just move in?
yourself. Nah.
Exactly. But here it's like everybody keeps to themselves. And even
Hmm.
when you're working in when you're working with people, you think that all the conversations you guys have, the laughter, the everything, that's it.
You.
Like it ends
That's where it
there.
ends.
Exactly.
Tell
It
me
does not
about
mean
it.
that when the person is going out, the person knows for sure you don't have a car. Like you probably have told the person about it in the conversation, but that does not mean the person will drive past you like this. But in Nigeria, of course, you know, how you can say, "Oh, sorry, can you give me a ride?" and all of that. So there's so many culture
I
shocks,
know. I
but
know.
I feel like at the end of the day, you just have to learn to be independent in this
I
country. To be
know.
honest. Yeah, and also be very see the whole conversation of I'm a shy person. I like keeping to myself. It cannot work here. Oh. If you are
Yes.
shy, you will just be there alone. You have to be very intentional with friendships. You have to be intentional with meeting people. You have to once you hear that there's a networking event, go there, talk to because that's the only place you see people like open up
Like mine.
themselves, talk
Yeah.
to you. Yeah. And if you're the type that likes partying, clubbing, for sure, you meet people there as well. There's so many programs in schools too, because I mean, I know that it's a bit hard on international students, so they try to come up with different events in school so you can also attend school this thing. But most of the time how you know people is through a friend that knows a friend that
Who's
knows
a
a friend, and
friend?
that's
Who's
how
a
you keep building that chain
the
of friendship,
community?
that community. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Jenny. See, I have
You're
learned a lot.
welcome.
And I'm
Right.
sure that everybody watching or that joined at one point or the other would have
Yeah,
learned a lot as well. So let's see some of the questions that we have.
sure.
Live chats. Okay. Ah, can you see any from your end?
Yeah, I can see someone Faith when you come with your mom as a minor student, will your mom be able to work? Minor, yeah, your mom can work. It's just how minor is the child? Like, do you mean like children that should be kept in daycare? If they're supposed to be kept in daycare, for sure they can be kept in daycare and then you can work. But of course
Wait,
it's very
minor children, baby can come and study. I don't understand.
no. Can your mom come in as a oh sorry, do you mean minor that is working? I think I need to
I don't
understand.
even understand the
Oh sorry,
question.
when you come with your mom as a minor student, oh okay. Minor said no, the mother cannot work because she's just here on a temporary basis, right? Just accompanying the student. No.
I think
Only
so.
the student that can 16. Oh, so you mean if
16.
the lady or the boy is an undergraduate student, no, you cannot work because your intention was not to work, except if you had applied for the child to be a student while you also get a work permit. Yeah.
Okay, you understand the question? I don't. Because to me, I'm thinking it's when a mother. Yes, okay. I think you've answered
Did
the
we
question.
answer your question?
Yes. So, okay, the next one. I'm worried about my medical request after doing my up. Wait, let's pick it one by one. I did my upfront medicals, but last week, IRCC sent me a medical request form. What should I do?
Oh, you already did your okay, you did your upfront medicals last week. Then IRCC sent medical request. Congratulations on your medical request, by the way. So the thing is, when you do your upfront medical, sometimes it takes up to a week before it's finally uploaded. But that was when it was the normal, like when we're still like prior to COVID. With COVID, like I said, a lot of things have changed. If you know for sure that you applied, sorry, that you uploaded the upfront medical, because what I did in my time is, even though the medical facility, that's the hospital, told me they were going to upload it on my behalf, I also raised a web form.
Hmm.
Also,
I
oh,
did
you
the
did your
upfront in
upfront.
October.
Okay, so if you did your upfront in October, you had a form, right, that was given to you like a receipt, like an A4 paper. What I would advise is to raise a web form and attach that medical form. Also, you can attach a short letter of explanation, just letting them know that you did your upfront medical in October, and you believe that your medical, like the hospital would have uploaded it on your behalf. This is the evidence, and just something short. Just raise a web form. Oh, I raised the web form and re-uploaded it. Okay, so what's going on? Like,
I don't
why? Yeah, like if you raise the web form already and you uploaded it, just wait for them. That's all you can do, basically. Yeah.
I'm free. Hmm. Okay. Um,
I'm worried about my
I'm
mental
worried
health.
about. I think it's still the same follow-up
Oh,
question, really.
yeah,
Yeah. So Marquez channel. Thank you.
yeah.
Agent of darkness full everywhere. So
He's the agent of darkness
yeah,
for me.
DIY. So
Yeah.
yeah, okay, I will wait. Thanks a lot. So I think those are just like the few questions that we have, and I
Mm-hmm.
think that we were able to do justice to them. If there are any more questions, whenever you guys watch this video, you can drop it in the comment section, and hopefully, if she has our time again, she can help us respond, or I'll go and help you ask her, and I'll come back and write the response because I don't know
Yeah.
anything about Canada.
Yeah. Marcus channel
Okay,
is something
guys.
that is very important. Yes, you can send an email to RCC, but a lot of times your email can get lost within
Yeah, you can
other
send an
emails.
email to her.
So I would say that two things you can do: either raise a web form again, or because either raise a web form again or reach out to what they call it now. Um, do you have the email address? Hmm. I think Lagos has an email address. So when you send an email to them, just go on Naira Land. I don't know if this person is Nigerian, but you can go on Naira Land and just search for email IRCC email addresses. I can remember then they had long list of email addresses for different countries. So that was how I sent an email to Lagos, and Lagos told me they were not the ones handling my application. And then they directed me to, is it Kenya? And then I started disturbing Kenya and all of that. So yeah, that's another way. Yeah.
Hmm. This market channel.
The person is hot.
Okay, yeah. He's hot,
Yeah.
giving us back to back. Okay, the
Yeah.
person is Zimbabwean.
Yeah.
Yeah, like she said, check. You can Google Naira Lines to pop up regardless of where you are, and then
Yeah.
you'll be able to, get some information from
Mm.
it, from the threads. Okay, please, how can I get schools that offer financial analysis? Ah, now is research. Financial analysis in Canada. I was
The only
only
way
able to
to
find
find those
just two schools for
schools for
now.
now.
How
Yeah.
many hours can a uni student work in Canada per day? They've let me answer the question for you people because I'm interested in that topic. They've lifted the cap, guys, for Canadian students. You can now work more than 20 hours, up to 40 hours, yeah?
Yeah, but it's till December 2023 this year for
Even
now.
though, even though.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Okay.
for that one, please, how can I get schools that offer financial analysis in Canada? Like, you just have to Google schools that offers financial analysis, and like you said you just found two schools. So what you want to do again is, it might not be called financial analysis, it might be called something else. So you might just put schools that offers financial programs in Canada, then sift through all the schools that comes up. Also go through the course overview, because usually they will tell you they'll give you a general overview of what you're going to be learning in that program. So if it's something that you want to pursue, then you pursue it. So that's just how it is. It might not be called financial analysis. It might be
Mm,
financial analysis might just be one of those courses that you take online. Might not necessarily be a school certificate program. So
yeah.
yeah.
This person
So
wants to change his or her course from business to social work. Is it possible?
yes, it is possible. What you just have to do is get the admission, upload it on IRCC, upload it on your application, like raise a web form informing IRCC of a change in your program. That's basically all you need to do, because your application is still active. But if you were already in Canada, you would just the same way get the admission and also inform IRCC. Basically, that's it. Yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. I
Yeah.
think that's about it. Yeah.
And it's good
Any,
because
last words, any words of advice? What for those that are looking to study in Canada and they're still dilly dallying about it, trying to make up their minds? Any last words for them? Any advice, tips, and all?
basically just once you've applied for all the like once you've applied for your program, or let's say you've gotten your admission already and you've applied for visa, just be hopeful, like keep doing your other stuff. Don't just put your mind on, oh, you're trying to apply for visa and they just wait. How do I put it? Like, a lot of people feel like because they've applied for Canada visa, they'll not put all other things on hold. Like, you can put some capital project stuff on hold, but not like keep moving with other things, right? Um, Maybe getting a certificate, because right now there are so many programs that are in demand. You might be coming in for public administration, but in a way, you also think that you have passion or interest in things like data analysis and the likes. You can start taking all those online courses on the side, so that when you come in you're hot cake. Because even as a public servant, sorry, as a public analyst, sorry, policy or program analyst, you can still do a lot of data analysis stuff within your capacity. So yeah, that's that. Also, you can do it yourself. So you don't necessarily have to pay for agents. Not that I'm taking food out of agents' mouth, too. But if you know that you're a very busy person, because I know if you
Yeah.
lived in Lagos, for example, Lagos is a very busy place, and you know that you do not have that time, that ample time to do it yourself. You can get a licensed person or someone that you can trust. But even though you have an agent working on your behalf, still try to be involved.
Be involved in the
Be
process.
involved. Yeah, there was
Mm.
a time when I was still on Naira Land then, trying to wait for my application and all. Someone shared a story of how the person got a ban, 5 years ban, and that's because the agent submitted more like a misrepresentation issue, because like the person says EMC, but then some of the attachments was for doing, and it was they asked.
Anyway,
Usually they will ask you, they'll give you maybe 1 or 2 weeks to
are you
explain.
submitting yourself? You say
But
yes.
because the agents, they don't even give these people email address, they'll create email address on your behalf, but they won't tell you.
Mm,
So before the agent will say he wants to attend to other people, the 2 weeks had lapsed. After 1 month, the guy went on the application and they said it was banned. So we want to eliminate all those
mm,
of that are not supposed to be in
yeah,
the first place. And yeah, Canada is a very, very good place for you to come to. I'm sure you've seen it from the media and even YouTubers talking about it. Of course, you will have some of your struggles. This is not your home country. You're trying to
yeah.
settle in and all, but there's so many services that are provided for you as a newcomer. Once you come into Canada, the first thing you get is especially as a permanent resident, there are open door societies for you where you can just talk to people and be vulnerable. Like, let them know how you feel. Like, oh, the weather is cold. Oh, your mental health cannot take this and all. Like, they're open to talk to you. Let me tell you how good it is. In those open door societies, they're strictly for newcomers. If you're coming in from a country that does not really speak English, like they're not so fluent, they have people, volunteers that can teach you English. Like
Mm,
it's just for you to have, yeah, it's just for you to have a schedule with that person. So it can be twice a week, it can be from this time to this time, depending on the volunteer's time as well. So there are so many programs that you have. Also, a friend of mine came in as a permanent resident, and he was telling me about how the Canada is willing to pay a particular amount for him to go to school and all of that. So yeah, there are so many to be honest. And the funny thing is, when you are even inside Canada, you might not even know so many benefits like people that are outside. because you're
Mm.
already inside, you're also chasing other things, but there's so many information coming in every day. So that's why even when I landed in Canada, I was still listening. Like some of the YouTubers I used to watch, I was still listening to them. Some of the platforms I used to read stuff on, I still used to check so that I don't miss out, because it's very easy for you to just miss out on those information, right? So yeah, there's so many perks. I don't even know how to explain it. Like there's so many things that you can do when you're in Canada. And just be big of friendship, because your family members, they're away. And
Yeah.
Nigeria
The
to
person is real.
yeah, Nigeria to Saskatchewan is 7 hours difference. And another thing, we have like 4 or 5 different time zones in Canada. So even though I have a friend in Toronto, I cannot just call that friend anyhow. I'll just calculate the time,
I
and this
know.
person, different time zones. So yeah, building friendship is key. When you have good friends around you, even if you are not privy to an information, they will tell you about it. So yeah, that's it. And never close out yourself from any opportunities. You know how you feel like, will you get this thing? Still try. My mantra, do it afraid. The worst thing
Do
they'll
it
tell you,
afraid or
they'll you as in, because when I was
yeah.
summer job last year, that one is even a testimony. Because I applied and then my email was having issues. They're telling me to buy storage, and I'm like, I'm not buying any storage. So for 1 month, I was not using my email because I was active on my school email. And then I just put it on one day. And the first email that came in was an interview invite from the government of Saskatchewan. Oh my God, I screamed that day. And then, did the interview and I was selected. So, like, don't shut yourself.
Count opportunities.
Yeah, just try. The worst thing that will happen, you are not qualified. But I'll try. So yeah.
The worst thing that will happen is no. You can't pass
No.
no. What else? And
Yeah.
you won't know
But
till you apply anyway.
yeah. And as an
Yeah.
international student, you have an edge. Like someone told me that very early, and I always use it to my advantage. Yes, I was working in this before. I came here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they
Thank
also
you
want to
so much.
have, yeah, you're welcome. Anyway.
You have plenty of your fans here. Just say kudos to
For
my
real.
favorite Canadian YouTuber. I have never missed your video.
Oh, thank
Oh.
thank you.
Can you do a part-time program, for example? Huh? Can you do a part-time program, for example? You're studying engineering as a full-time course. Can you study nursing as a part-time along with the engineering course? Ha! I'm not sure you
No.
can study nursing as part-time. Oh.
No.
With nursing that you have placements.
Yeah, you
Hi,
can.
MAC. I watch your videos a lot, and I hope when I get to Canada, I will see you because I'm not.
Oh, thank
It's
you.
joke.
Thank you.
Thank you, such a sweet soul, and thank you for answering my question when I messaged you on IG. She's a
You're
sweet
welcome.
person. I know
The
you
only
sweet
thing is
like
I
that.
don't use my IG that much, but once I'm online,
You try.
can you can you hear me? I said
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
you know.
sorry, a call came in. So I don't use my IG that much. Like I'm one of those people that run away from IG. But once I'm online, I try to reply people as much as I can. And I always try to direct people, because sometimes when I'm doing a video, I would have done research. Like for example, now, see my book. I have a lot of things I've written down to do that video. So if you're asking me
Yeah.
later, I might not have that much details. So I used to tell people, oh, just go on the channel. And if you have any other question, then you can let me know. So yeah, it's the little things. Just give back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so
Okay,
much
I think we've
for
done
joining.
well. We've done justice to this topic.
Mhm.
And thank you so much for our guests. You've been
Thank you for
amazing.
having
Thank you
me.
for answering everybody's questions. Thank you for answering my own questions as well. The
Yeah.
errand girl of the people. I do not take you for granted. I mean,
Yeah.
20,000 subscribers, guys. I have a celebrity on my
What?
channel.
Oh my god.
Okay, guys. So
Yeah.
subscribe. Now will be the time to subscribe to both of our channels. Missy and Missy, she has loads of content, lots and lots of
Mhm.
videos about Canada, relocating, different pathways, lifestyle. Oh, I love her
Yeah.
vlogging, trust me.
I
Lifestyle,
try.
travel, so different things. So you guys can up on the trip to the channel right now. Subscribe if you haven't, and also subscribe to my channel if you've not done that already, Adedoye_Adekoya. Let's grow this community. I mean, look at the content I'm bringing to you guys. I mean, just isn't
Yeah.
it amazing?
Right?
Okay, guys. So I think that brings us to the end of this live. So that it wouldn't be too long. I don't want it to pass 1 hour, and it's almost reaching that time.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for joining. Thank you for all the questions. Thank you, MAC. Hopefully,
Thank
sometime
you
in the
for having
future,
me.
maybe we would have, yes, this video will be up for you to rewatch on my, you automatically saves, so you can always watch it in case you missed this or you joined late. So
Yeah.
thank you very much. I still remain your favorite girl, Doing, and Miss
Yeah.
Tade.
Thank
Bye,
you. Bye,
guys.
guys.